All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our HIC League. My name is Evan. I am your host again. So this is course number 17. So for today, we're going to go into access control and video intercom. I hope everybody can hear me nice and clearly. If I can get a little bit of a thumbs up there in the Q&A, that would be really appreciated due to the fact that things are a little bit slow on my side. Okay. As we are waiting on, there we go. Thank you so much. Right. So access control video intercom, starting off, first of all, just letting you guys know that we do have a promotion running at this moment. Just getting to the second page. This is chance. There we go. Second page there. So we have a little bit of promotion for some switches as, part of a package. So please have a look at these. I will later on highlight this again. There are a little bit of terms and conditions there, but please speak to your Hikvision representative. Moving forward, let's see if I can move forward for the slide. Give it a second. Okay. So getting into two different categories. First, obviously going to be access control. The second one's going to be video intercom. I think I might need to just kill my video cam. Yeah, my apologies, guys. Unfortunately, resources is running out. Yeah. Okay, there we go. In that first category of access control, we're going to highlight some additional features. Those features will be as follow. Going through that itself. Okay, it's taking a bit of time to load again. So that's going to be our Minmo facial recognition terminals, the access control 2.0, as well as fingerprint and etc. So we're going to get into the software as well there. So first of all, starting is with Minmo terminals. So facial recognition Minmo terminals works with a 2D facial recognition detection, looking at the depth of your face, and then obviously identifying a 1-to-1 or 1-to-N ratio. Moving forward, we have multiple different products available. So just looking at the terminology of these models itself, we have our normal project base, which is, first of all, our turnstiles and barriers. That will be the following. Let me just get my little laser out there. That will be these categories itself. And then we have our Ultra series that some of the guys are familiar with, that we're going to go into depth a little bit more, as well as our Pro series and our Value series as well for economic use. Moving into that, starting first of all, a lot of you might be familiar with our very popular 341 models itself. We do have these still available, so it depends on your application. We also are familiar now with a new 342 model. That's a slightly bit of an upgrade, but more cost-effective model, as well as the smaller models for indoors, as well as reception areas as the 343 models. But now we are happy to announce that for outdoor, we do have the 344 models. These models gives us a little bit more capability, and we'll go into a little bit more detail. Following that detail is looking at this new upgrade itself on the 342 models. So a lot of you might be familiar with the 342 models. They have our normal 12-volt power connections. The new models will have built-in PoE. So this allows us to have the E1 series, upgrading them to PoE, allowing us not to use the 12-volt, because some guys will have a backup power source 12-volt for these babies, but some guys also have network backup power, so this will give you that PoE to power it up. So just a comparison and having a look at the features of those models. Moving forward, then we have our 344 models. These have a nice aluminum alloy bezel around them. They have a thicker tampered glass compared to the normal 341 and 342 models. So this gives us the capability of a more durable product for outdoor for value series. Still your normal anti-spoofing, all your normal authentications, as well as a nice button. And there's some additional features in there that we'll get into a little bit more, all right, as we progress forward. So just a comparison overall to the different models. So 341 that you guys might be familiar with, These are the applications. And then obviously on the 342 models, the support of the PoE now. Then on the 344 model, as you can see, nice 3,000 faces, 3,000 fingers, 3,000 cards, which is a very nice for a normal business park or large or medium-sized business. Very effective models, as well as all the different applications for support. We are supporting obviously the alarm inputs and outputs, as well as the PoE on this model. The AP mode, this gives us the capability of picking up the hotspot of this device and connecting to it. The Bluetooth, as well as QR code, which gives us that nice feature. And then also to announce, next time that we'll highlight this a bit more information. Unfortunately, we are at the beginning stage of this. This is our DS-K1T673 T series. This gives us palm and also the vein reading itself on these terminals. So this gives us the capability of doing palm and the vein reading. So there's quite a bit more deep learning algorithm in there. So definitely have a look at these functionalities, as you can see. Moving forward, a lot of you might be familiar with our normal 681 modulated model. This has had Type-C connection with 2 screws that locks it in. There is a little O-ring around it to seal it for watertight. This is required for installation to make sure that you abide by the regulations that we provide. When it comes to these, we can either have your fingerprint, QR code, or maybe QR code, fingerprint, and card with Bluetooth. So that depends on the model that you would like to go for, and then you just plug it in and it accepts it. It runs Android 11 in the background. It's very flexible design, as well as the CCTV camera on this can be pulled into your NVR. All the capabilities as the list is, then we'll look at the comparison. Moving forward, the 981 series itself, these series are very popular at this moment. They are a really nice design. It gives us the capability of using iris. So iris is that little black dot and a white ring. In between it is that color ring of your eye. This is how we identify you as a person. So identification is very accurate. And no, it's no James Bond movie, so don't pop out the person's eye and then think you're going to authenticate with it. All right, we need a live person there. So giving you a nice 5 megapixel for the iris, a dual lens for the facial recognition. So it's a combination of both. Background is running Linux, and obviously all the other additional features can go with this. Moving forward, then I would like to discuss with you guys about the on-site time and attendance. So this feature is built into these models. So not all models, but certain application models. So please have a look. As an example, on this 343 models that some of the guys are using, you can use the capability of that smart time attendance. This gives us the functionality of also on the device creating flexible normal shifts and flexible shifts according to, you know, if things change, maybe day shift, maybe night shift, and people are swapping around. Then also the capability of using the rules and changing the configuration by your mobile phone or laptop or PC. Then also 5 different ways that HR can pull reports. So how many times you went in for lunch and out and break times and etc. And then we can also pull that information via USB from the device or your mobile web interface, as well as PC interface. Moving forward from there, I'd like to tell you guys about the easy communication. If it goes to the next slide, there we go. So with the mobile web configuration, very straightforward. As we mentioned, the AP needs to be enabled. Once the AP is enabled on the device itself, then you can use your mobile phone to scan for that hotspot, if I can put it that way. This gives us the capability of logging into that interface of the device itself, the web interface, and we can do all the configurations that we need to. The following model supports this functionality, so definitely have a look at it. There's quite a few features in this. Just want to remove my low resources for this. Oh, there we go. There's quite a few confirmations in that. So obviously easy AP mode, easy search for any information that you might require, as well as quick control, the time and attendance management with the calendar as well that goes onto that, and multi-settings capability, so with multi-authentication. So definitely have a look. So just a recap, just to let you guys know that we have a promotion running. This is November to December in 2024, if anybody's watching the YouTube video. So this is currently a special that we are running, so definitely have a look at that. Then moving forward into our access control 2.0. So just to announce, if you're not familiar with this, this is quite a nice little feature. There's a lot more that we can do, and I'm going to get into those features. So starting off with obviously easy web configuration as well as flexibility for authentication. We also have that normal way of using WeGan or RS communication or OSDP version 2. So this gives us that capability to confirm all those, as well as your normal inputs and output triggers to like an intercom or alarm system. So there's quite a few little features here on the new model. So I just want to highlight that to you guys as well. Starting off with the Pro Series. A lot of you guys are familiar with the K26 model. So the K26 model, if you didn't notice, we did upgrade the K26 model. The board looks something like that. So this gives us the capability of obviously having a more a sleek design. But at the same time, we decided that, you know what, let's upgrade it a little bit more. So we've upgraded to the K26-2 series. Again, one door. The X is actually for one door, two door, or four door. The same happens here. The X is for one door, two door, or four door. This gives us the capability of web configuration directly on the device, so you don't actually need software in it. So then also we have our Ultra series. If you're not familiar with our Ultra series, this is our K27. This is a breakthrough as technology. We can do up to 128 doors that we can configure and manage. So this gives us the capability. LED light, so certification is also in there. So definitely have a look at that. Just a breakdown of that K27 model, 128 doors that we can configure. This will work through 62 modules. So these are the access control modules itself to allow us to expand those doors for different area. So definitely, if you want to know more about it, we do have more information. So please speak to your Hikvision representative. Easy management, obviously, as well as easy use for configuration, also with a built-in PoE. So in the event that maybe you have a switch with built-in PoE and that switch has backup power for maybe a server room, this allows us to use PoE to power up the device so the access control will stay active. As well as in the event that you don't want to use the PoE, you can still use the normal AC. This also gives us the capability of using a backup power there. Please take note that the battery for that backup power is still a lead acid or gel battery, not lithium ion. Right, moving forward, just to recap on that, letting you guys know that the upgrade version of the K26 model, this is the 2nd series itself. In the 2nd series, the board has been changed quite a bit. LED indicators to let you know how what is on and what's not on. So if you are familiar with the old model, those were the old boards. This is the upgraded board, and then we upgraded it again. So more sleek, easy design, power supply in there, battery, and also clamps to hold down the battery for some sort of reason. I don't understand why we would have clamps. Normally it gets mounted on a building and the building shouldn't move. Just hashtag saying. All right, moving forward from there, just a comparison between all three models. So from your normal K26 1, 2, or 4 door compared to your K26-2 model, and then obviously the K27 model. So definitely have a look at those and see the maximum amount of doors that we control, users, as well as cards, events, and backup power is on all of them. PoE, not all of them, besides the K27 model. So this gives us that capability. Certification as well as in there. Moving forward, as our access control terminals family. So we have obviously our value series. A lot of you might be familiar with the 805 model. This 805 gives us the capability of managing it through HIC Connect as well. So definitely have a look at that. And then we have an upgrade version on our 804 series, which is now our 807 series. This is a more sleek design for time and attendance for access control. So definitely have a look at that. It has a 20-inch LCD screen as well as powered by PoE. As we discussed, things are changing. Then we also have our Pro series that some of you might be familiar with already. If you're not, I will highlight that again. It's our 502 series, which has the capability of not just using for access control, but as well as video intercom. This model has an IK rating, and if you're not familiar with IK rating, IK 9, which means it's handle proof, right? So just to highlight that model, so as you can see, waterproof, a little bit rugged, nice little bezel around it, as well as the keypad modulator that can be connected to it as well, and easy configuration as we mentioned earlier through the AP connection. Right, moving forward on that same model, the 502 model that we just highlighted now, fingerprints, as you can see, cards and events are there. So definitely have a look at that capability. Your normal fingerprints, cards, pins, Bluetooth, and QR code. So please have a look. Not all the models have the QR code. You have to select the correct model for that application. Moving forward on our 807, the upgrade version. On this upgrade version, obviously powered by PoE, you can power it up by 12 volt, but you know, nowadays it's nice to use the PoE. IP rating, so yes, it can be used for outdoor. There are also rain shields available for this specific model. 5,000 fingers, 5,000 cards, and obviously the events. And as I mentioned, the easy AP mode for configuration via your PC or mobile web. Right, moving forward on that one. Then we have our 805 model that a lot of you also do like. It also has an IK8 rating, so it's a little bit less than IK9, but still. And again, I know there's a picture of a hammer. Please don't use a hammer. This means that if you do put it onto a gooseneck and maybe the kids are playing with a soccer ball outside and they kick it into the access control terminal, this will not cause any damage on it because it can take a bit of a punch. Right. So we're not going to go into boxing now, but moving forward, easy use, obviously remote configuration as well. So definitely have a look at that. Then moving forward from that model itself, letting you know that we still have the Bluetooth, the QR code, as I mentioned, and NFC. So anybody that is using NFC, you have the capability as well as QR code. You can send the QR code to the person and we'll highlight that a little bit more. So accessories, yes, we do have accessories. Moving forward, so from our card readers to keypads to pins itself, as well as just normal tag readers itself. Then we also have our no touch buttons. It's called no touch. So if my wife is listening, it's called no touch. You don't touch it. Yeah. And then obviously you have the other buttons as well. We also have the capability of single and dual mag locks as well as the brackets, your normal LZ brackets, your U brackets for glass doors. So if you're not familiar with that, we have special brackets that fits onto glass doors. So have a look at that configuration for that locks itself and the brackets. Then also, and before I forget, we also have pin locks and bolt locks. So yeah, we do have that as well. Cards, obviously, your normal M1 cards, your EM cards, so your different frequency cards that you need for your environment, and please have a look at those. Your enrollment station, as well as a backup power supply with battery capability. Battery is not sold with the device, please take note. And also the battery will be a a gel battery and a lead acid battery, not lithium ion. Right, moving forward. Software side. Okay, here we go. So in the software, we have dynamic QR code. What does this mean? It means that if you have a visitor or somebody that needs to come to your place, you can give them a dynamic QR code. So through the HIC Connect app itself, this gives us the capability of generating a dynamic code. So as soon as they arrive at the premises, they can just select the button, it generates a QR code, and then you can scan it. So Dynamic means the QR code is never the same, which means from a security aspect, it's pretty well done. You can customize that to have maybe to work for 1 minute, or the QR code needs to work for 7 days. So it depends on your application. Moving forward, again, just to highlight the Bluetooth functionality. In the Bluetooth, we also have now the offline Bluetooth solution. This means that once you have configured correctly, said that the Bluetooth needs to work for the next 7 days, 30 days, or permanently, or customize it up to 99 days, which is quite a long time period. And my recommendation is maybe staff will leave or not leave, so have a look at that. Moving forward from that, once the person does not have any internet or network, the Bluetooth capability will still work to grant access or open up the door. Moving on from there, letting you know about our software side itself as a different platform. We have HIC Connect itself, Teams. If you're not familiar, please have a look at HIC Connect Teams. The nice thing about HIC Connect Teams, this gives you the capability of loading up 10 doors for free and 100 persons itself. Then we obviously have HIC Central Professional, which we have a free license. That free license is for 16 doors and 3,000 persons. Then we also have the capability of using HIC Partner Pro, HPP, for installers for remote configuration and health monitoring and etc. Moving on from there, then just highlighting the teams. In the team mode itself, you have the normal way of communication with it to unlock the doors or control it. We have, as we said, also password and QR codes that you can use to allow people to enroll and activate them, etc. We also can use the web interface with HIC Connect Teams. So this gives you the capability of looking at reports and etc. Then there's another feature here. For staff that are maybe reps that are traveling a lot, you can do a check-in with live GPS location. You can also send a snapshot and it will show you the log of checking in and checking out. There are some additional levels of functionalities in the app, so please have a look at that. And for any HR, there's multiple different reports that we can pull from it, and we can also schedule different shifts as well. So HR or bosses, doesn't matter. Moving on. Let me take a breather there. Whew. Right, moving forward in video intercom, let's get into that capability. Video intercom, this is the topology. In the topology, we have mobile itself that can communicate to video intercom. We have our HIC Central, as well as a master station for security guard rooms itself. You can also add in your existing CCTV that goes into the indoor station, so you can view them from your comfort of wherever your indoor station has been mounted. We have our master stations, so for buildings, you can communicate to different floors, different levels, different buildings, so quite a very flexible solution. For our normal villa or value series models itself, we also have the same communication. You have your door stations, your main, your maybe extended indoor station, that can all communicate to a switch, to your network, and then through to HIC Connect. There we go. Moving forward, just letting you know also for the indoor station, we still have the Ultra series, which I love to bits. This is an Android model, 7-inch or 10-inch, depends on. It also gives you touchscreen. It gives you way more than just touchscreen. You can put in an SD card so it can store the information that's required, as well as a total of 3 mobile apps. There's already one installed, which is the HIC Connect app, so you can add 2 additional apps. Currently, I am using mine for Uber Eats and Mr. D. Don't leave your credit card details on there because your kids will keep on buying food when you are at work and they're on school holiday. So be careful about that one. Just a parent pro tip, right? And then for the Pro series as well, a lot of you guys are familiar for the cost effectiveness of those. They still run Linux in the background, have the capability of an SD card on them. Moving forward from there, just a comparison for the outer door stations itself, the door stations. So we have our Ultra series, which is our 9 series itself. This is our all-in-one, gives you quite a lot of capabilities, as well as the new model that has a button on it, a very big button. I will highlight that again just shortly. And then obviously our 8 series that some of you guys are already familiar with as a modulated model. This is the 8003B category model. So for big, large apartments, this is a wonderful product to use. And then for normal conventional homes on the 8 series, this is the 81, 82, or 84 13 model. This gives us the capability of obviously communicating to maybe just your house and granny flat, or maybe 4 different apartments. All right. And then we have our value 6 series itself. These have a lit up button itself on them with the camera capability, and as well as functionality on the new 6133 model. So definitely have a look at that. Moving forward, then we also have our bell, our doorbell itself. Doorbell is very convenient. This is a vandal-proof model, so definitely have a look. So anybody that's going through any experience in their neighborhood where their outdoor equipment is not surviving the neighborhood. Right. So we also have different packages as kits. So in those packages, the 703, then we have the 602, the 604, the new 313, and the 213 models. This gives us the capability of having a kit with different capabilities, kit with a switch and an SD card, or just the normal kit with the SD card itself. So definitely have a look at these capabilities at your local or Hikvision representative. Moving on from there, then our new all-in-one door stations have the capability of unlocking 2 doors. So the biggest feature for me personally. I really like this from a technical aspect, as well as you can change the font size to big. You're getting old. Then moving forward, up to 35 different languages. So anybody that's from another country in our country, you can have a look at the language and change it to their capability. Nice 180 field of view camera, a different amount of faces, as well as your fingers and cards. So moving on from there, then we have our KV9 series, as I mentioned earlier. With this model itself, we have a button. This is the 9503 model. It has a nice, very big button for grandma or grandpa to press when they come and visit. So again, up to 2 different unlocking. So maybe a door and a gate, or maybe a gate and a pedestrian gate. So it depends on your application. Again, that font size can be increased, as well as your communication on Hik Connect with your family, and obviously the locking, as I mentioned. Moving on from there, we're almost at the end, guys. So just be patient. We also have SIP server. So there are SIP servers available for these indoor stations. So for an outdoor station, so definitely have a look. I'll explain that now. So just to let you know about the different models, we have different models with different capabilities, as well as different SIM modules itself. Depends on your application and your requirement. A lot of the guys are going for the G4 models. This gives us the capability of putting in a SIM card, not just network itself, but you can also use network. So moving forward from those models, we also have our 4-wire plug and play for, you know, the guys that don't want a technician at their house or something. So 4-wire HD, 4-wire hybrid. So this gives us the capability of using Wi-Fi on the indoor station in order to communicate to the network on our Hik Connect app. Touchscreen as well, so to have a look at that. And then we have the IP kit for the same model, 4-wire. The IP kit has quite a bit more features, like the WDR on the camera, 1080p, a very nice 2 megapixel resolution, as well as 2 doors for, like I said, for locking, as well as SIP communication. Moving on from there, we have that capability as those wired kits, just letting you know that we've upgraded the size of the image. That's the first thing. Secondly, we give you 2 different methods of viewing. One is SD image. SD image means substream, and an HD image means your high resolution, your mainstream itself. Obviously, the capabilities are there, so please have a look at that. Moving forward from that model, we also have different models as well. This is the 313 model. So also, again, mobile connectivity, nice wide angle itself for that field of view for your gate area, and the normal SD and HD video quality. Just to highlight again for that promotion, letting you know about that promotion, definitely have a look at that capabilities in there. For some of you that didn't know about the SIP side, before we move forward, the SIP server gives us the capability of having address book on some access control and video intercom. With that SIP communication, if you have multiple apartments and you have a SIM card, this gives us the capability of dialing through to the person's mobile phone, letting them know that you are at the house or at the apartment. So that gives us the capability. Please take note that we do have SIP phones as well for any businesses part of this application, but unfortunately I don't have any slides on it because it's not part of our topic. And the last page is to tell all of you, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I can take a breather now. So I'm going to hand over to Jade, and I just would like to thank everybody for visiting and being here and watching the video.